In your opinion, which of these will have the greatest impact for Singapore?
The ageing population in Singapore is a key concern for about 1/3 of the youths who attended the Pre-U Seminar 2011 at NUS on Tuesday. The event is a platform for youths to discuss political, social and economic issues that affect Singapore. Speaking to the media, Minister in the Prime Minister's office, S Iswaran, felt that a family-centred focus is vital in resolving this challenge.
Aging population means, on the one hand, we need to make sure that we are taking care of the elderly in our midst. And that doesn't just mean taking care of the elderly, but it's a family-centred focus. Because you're talking about multi-tier families who have to look after the children and the elderly, and you see more of them. That also means that we're going to have to allocate more resources towards this. And then the question is it a redistribution? What does it entail? What sort of new ideas do we need to work with towards that? And it has a bearing also on our overall, I think, economic strategy. Because as we can see from the example of Japan, we need to find a way to retain a certain level of vibrancy and energy in the working population, even as we take care of our elderly. And that's the key balance we need to achieve. Because otherwise, you'll find that things start to become a lot slower, and then the younger people might feel where are the opportunities, the questions will arise.
During the dialogue session with 525 students from junior colleges, polytechnics and schools of the integrated program, one question stood out for Mr. Iswaran.
What happens, however, when change meets resistance from the people? For example, the opening of the casinos in the IRs was not well received by a significant portion of Singaporeans.
Our challenge is really, we cannot choose the change, but we can choose our response to it. And that's the point I'm trying to make. How do we adapt, and how do we, where relevant, capitalize on it? And that's where your IR example is a very good one. I think, the way I would put it to you is this. I think government has been very conscious of the fact that the IRs, and people say it's a euphemism, particular problem is the casino that people have issues with. And some people have objections to it from a conscience point of view, others have objections to it from a social consequences point of view. So the government is very alive and conscious to this, but at the same time, on balance, we've decided that there are significant benefits to be had. And the earlier point about, how do we keep progressing? If we didn't embark on some of this, we would have lost the tourism initiative in the context of the region. One of the reasons why Singapore's tourism numbers have been growing so strongly is because we've been able to introduce new and different products. So to be able to have not just the casinos, but to be able to have Universal Studios, to be able to have these different musical theatre performances, etc., all these things add to the allure of Singapore to tourists.
The Pre-U Seminar is in its 41st year since its inception in 1970. This year, the theme, Reimagining Singapore, challenges youth to discuss issues that will prepare the nation for future challenges. In the following clips, catch S Iswaran's keynote address where he engages the participants in an interactive live poll.